So let's take a look-see at Miss Twin here. To me, it's a lot of power in this energy here with Twin. A lot of control going on, but I don't think it's like of him. It's like the more grip she get in her world, the more she's gonna see that reflect through him and their connection. So let's see what she has going on and what we can get. I'm seeing starry sky, stars in my eyes. I just got a spike of euphoria here. There's a tenderness here, tranquility, peace, balance, harmony, excitement. I don't know. I feel like she may start to feel very like spoiled, and maybe I could be pushing it when I say worship, because I don't even understand why they would tell me to use that word, but just, I don't know. There's balance here. And her getting her way in so many ways. Things flowing smoothly. I feel like she's going to find her thing, you know, that thing where whatever that thing is, it translates all over different areas of her life of balance, clarity. There's a come up here for her. Welcome to my newbies. Hello to my oldies. My name is Diamond and you are watching Pretty Blind Eyes. The readings held on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The discussions held on this channel should not be taken as literal advice. I am legally blind, so I do read Braille on my cards to decipher what they are, but I'm an overall intuitive reader. In the description box below, you can find several ways to interact with me, one of which is the availability to book private readings. That calendar is open. To my students and members, please keep in mind that you do get discounted readings through the secret link at the school. Also, we have orientation coming up for psychic development. We're going to start with learning the tarot. You can receive tutoring, spiritual advisory, where you can have me as your personal psychic on a month-to-month basis. And there will be a self-paced course for learning the tarot. Thank you guys for all the love, support, gifts, donations, journeying with me, and patience. And since this is included in the Favorite Friday lineup, I just want to let you guys know we started that some weeks ago. And if you love this sort of content on Chris Brown, Chris Brown's twin, Justin Bieber, and Selena Gomez, and you can't get enough and you want more than just one video a month, then go on over there and see if you'll like that setup to get more access to more readings throughout the week. All right. I'm feeling like high, y'all. When I say high, I'm like, who needs weed? Like, this is a great feeling. All right, general messages for her, and we'll do a love reading for her. Y'all just be wanting love readings on these celebs, right? I just want to make sure. So let's look at her generally, and then we'll look at her love life. What Spirit want us to know about what type of lover is his twin? I'm hearing Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination. When he saw, he's what we call a dinosaur sensation. Barney shows us lots of things like how to play pretend, ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and how to be a friend. She's a teacher. Maybe she liked Barney too. She's very imaginative. Barney, something about purple, maybe. Barney comes to play with us whenever we may need him. Barney can be your friend too if you just make believe him. She could have been very in tune with spirit guides and things like that as a child too. Ace of Pentacles probably had what her parents thought was an imaginary friend. It was probably her spirit guide and other spirits. Lover's card with the Ace of Cups. Look at all of this damn healing. God damn. Eight of Pentacles. Let me see. 7 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, Fool card. I feel like there's something coming up where she's going to be able to prove a lot of people wrong. I don't know if it's going to be a sticking your tongue out moment, but I don't know why. But they're showing Dr. Umar's situation with the girl that came out. And y'all know how all of a sudden all this crazy stuff is happening to him after she came out. She's a real, she FBA. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing about give me a moment for other races that's in the building, but for my black women, that's just what that is. And that's why they always tell you, you want some change in your life, go to let a black woman pray for you, or let a bunch of black women get together and pray for you. It's something about it. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. But with that being said, I just feel like That's why because it's like I see her over the poker table just scraping all that shit off the table. Like now she's, and I just heard phone check that came out in Chris's reading at the school. But yeah, it's like so much truth is about to come out surrounding her. A lot of vindication. Yeah. Like, I ain't saying people going around calling her like a liar or none of that. I'm not seeing that. I'm feeling like a lot of representation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things is going to come to the surface. I keep hearing vindication. She's going to get vindicated. That's a part of it. So, very childlike. When I see Barney and stuff, it gives me teacher vibes. Like, like Miss Frizzle with the Magic School Bus, Barney coming around the kids and showing them cool shit. Like this is her is what this feels like. And maybe she played school a lot as a kid or something. Okay, King of Cups, Nine of Swords, Eight of Wands. I know this ain't Chris. Yeah. I don't know what's about. He's shaking in his boots. Like, he looked like a deer in headlights. He looked shocked. It's giving me a feeling like, who here? I'm telling y'all, this came out in the, was it the last reading or the reading earlier this week where I said they end up in the same place? They're showing that again, but it looks like, I don't know. He looks surprised to know that she could be around. She's where? You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm not surprised. It may have come to this, where it's gonna catch him off guard. It probably has to. I feel like he's. I don't think y'all understand the level of fear that this guy has around this girl, like, and how nervous she really makes him. Like, I mean, to the point he may faint. Like. And I know it sounds dramatic, but that's what I'm seeing. Is like I see him sweating and everything. Like, he can't take it. His palms get sweaty and everything. He loses all composure. King of Pentacles, Magician card, Seven of Swords. Told you. There he go. He came out. That's what he hide. It's not that he's stubborn. It's not that he really runs. He's just scared. He's like really scared. Really, really on a different level too. It ain't got nothing to do with, I don't trust because this person. No, it's not that. It's not that even. What's the word I'm looking for? Stoic. It's not that even. Not that beefy with him. It's more like. It's Piglet. It's Piglet scared. It's Chucky Finster scared. Like over any and everything when it comes to her. He shakes in his boots and he can't move. Like if he could be fight, flight, or freeze, it's freeze for him when he sees her. All thought go out of the window. Like, and that, see, look, told you, High Priestess. Yeah, they are due to, and I know we said this plenty of times, smack me. Whatever. But yeah, it is some sort of justice, but it looks like more on her end this time. I feel like a lot of the other times was all of surrounding him, his territory and all that kind of stuff. But on this one with this Page of Swords, I think it's going to be a place he would not expect to see her. Like, it's giving me example of, like, let's say there's an event, right? And he looks at the lineup or something, and then he overhears somebody say, like, oh, such and such is going to be da-da-da-da-da. Who? It's that kind of thing. It's like, well, how'd that happen? Or, you know what I'm saying? And we could only hope he's already sitting down in the building, because if he's not going to go in there. He's not even going to go in there. With them being that close to each other, somebody might gotta toss him on a stretcher and get him somewhere to get him, some air and stuff. But he's not a hyperventilator kind of guy. He's not giving me. He freezes. You probably got to remind him to breathe. Like, he just might, his heart just might stop. Okay, so that's generally. Maybe we should leave it there. Let's see her love life. Are there alternative loves and stuff like that? What's going on with them and with the love stuff, with him cutting up so much and all of that? I feel like what it has done for her is just giving her space and time. I think this is one of his biggest fears, is exactly what happened. It's giving her space and time to really get into some things, honestly. I feel like back then when he act the way he's acting with their connection, she paid attention and watched everything. I think she's taking advantage of him doing this stuff to really, to really run off and, get herself together from what I'm getting here. And so I feel like, again, y'all know I always describe him as that 2-year-old child. When the child first learned to walk and run and you get their asses in that parking lot and they try to run off when you tell them stand beside the car because they don't know how dangerous the parking lot is if they just take off running. And so they run and look back in hopes that you chase them. And if you don't, they do get scared and come back. Well, some of them. Most do. I don't think Chris was one of those types of kids, but for example's sake, just work with me here. Because I believe his ass just kept running. But in this case, I do feel like it is that, is she looking? Let me say that, let me do this and see if I can get a reaction. Because all he's doing is still trying to see if they're still where he feels the most comfortable with them being without him having to do too much. But what he's finding out, okay, that's where we're going? Okay. So what he's finding out is none of it's working anymore. He did it too many times. So now she's like, oh, okay, this that part. All right, let me go on over here and fix this and do this then till he get tired of throwing his tantrums or grinding on this one or that one and being like, it just, for her, it's just like, boy. And with being in that energy, though, it's helping her not pedestalize him. It's helping her normalize him. And again, but like I said, this is one, I feel like, I don't know if he's connected with this being a fear of his, but I see it. It's a fear of his. One of his biggest fears is her getting used to him behaving that way, and then her not seeing him in the light that he would want her to see him in. But on the flip side of things, he do want her to see the truth too, because I feel like he will always hear her with, I'm not who you think I am. I feel like there has been times where he felt like, don't praise me, I'm not perfect, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And I get that too. And I feel like she did go through a phase like that. I feel like that was the first part of their phase, because maybe the type of dream she probably was having, maybe because he was in the beginning of her awakening to where, she did view him like a savior. Like he probably, y'all don't, like with these twin connections, because let me use me as an example. I was in a place of nothingness, especially after my fast. And I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. And so once I started YouTube and it took off as fast as it did, they do say that happened in twin connections. That's how you know you're really, about to plug into your twin, or you're on your path to your twin, because what you get into is fast. It's almost like miracles happen. You get saved from so much. And by December, I started my channel in September, and by December, my twin came to me and my life changed. And I don't know what he does. I don't know what he gets into on this earthly plane. And I'm sure he's not perfect. But to me, especially in the beginning, no one tell me any differently because of what we evolved into, what I came out of. And I think even on the flip side, he may see me in that way too, my twin. So with that being said, to like infuse it with or relate it to Chris's situation with her, I think she in the beginning did see him like that, because he opened her eyes up to endless possibilities, or a certain level of possibilities. And I feel like the same happened with him. But I feel like when he had to start to juggle or deal with the celebrity world and then his twin life and then craving like this normal life too, I believe he would take it out on her. Like, don't do that. I'm not perfect. Like, especially when he would do things that wasn't so nice and he had to sit with them, but then she wouldn't see nothing but the good in him. Like, so I think he wanted a grip on the reality too. And we're here. And so now she's finally there. She's finally where he wanted her to be earlier on, but it won't gonna work like that, because he wanted her to be there earlier on for the wrong reasons, because that was a part of self-sabotage. That was a part of punish me. I've been bad, like the same way he do when he get the tattoos and the piercings to feel pain. So, and that's why I was frustrating him that she was so nice, or just caught up still in the bubblegum phase of the cupcake phase of the twin connection, because it made him feel even more guilty, if that makes any sense. When he do something wrong, but she still see the good in him. It made it hard to look into her eyes, or, so if she would get mad at things and then call him out his name, that would validate, that would be a self-fulfilled prophecy of fear and doubt and pain and punishment that he feels he deserves for being bad, which would only keep taking them in that same old circle and cycle, which means they wouldn't be here today. You understand? So everything has its time and place. Wow, they're really getting into the dynamics of their child. King of Swords with the Seven of Cups. So love for her. Okay, this is Chris's sadness. So he could be very... Yeah, damn. Lover's card with the Five of Wands. I feel like, again, y'all remember that energy I told y'all he'd probably get in where he'd just be trying so hard not to, like he'd want to bite her, but he'd be trying so hard not to do that and stuff. This is that energy. He's sad. Like, so I think some of his sadness is roped into their connection and him wanting to, like, press her buttons, but then he loves her so much that he just doesn't. He just kind of, that's why we're getting all this action that we're getting out in these celebrity streets with him, these tour land streets, because it's either that or they argue, and he's tired of arguing, and especially because deep down he knows he causes a lot of it. He don't want her to resent him. So he do have sense enough to know that they have gotten to a phase where he has really gotten her to a point where he don't really have many options or chances or spaces to play games. I feel like he understands he can't. Well, never mind. I think he will suffer that fear too, that he could lose her. But I do feel like he do have a clear understanding that it's stretched. It's stretched as far as it can go, and he's not going to dare to play around with her in that. So he just ventures off, but they would have been, y'all know, they would have been arguing all throughout the year, back and forth. That's why we haven't been getting that in the readings with them arguing inside the readings, because he's restraining himself from biting her, like from doing that. But this is what you get when he restrains himself. He goes and takes it out on other things in the world and get himself into other things, and neither is healtly, but he's getting to the point where he'd rather do that than to keep hurting her in that way. Nine of Cups, Page of Swords, because he knows he's pushed it as far as it can go. Page of Swords, see, Ten of Wands. That's it. Yeah, overload. It's as far as it can go. And so in regards to them, yeah, she's, with all that going on that he got going on, like she's so used to all of that now, and not in a way where she's immune to it and she allow it and enable it. It's just helping her accept a lot of truths about herself, him, and all of that, and I don't know, it's becoming normal to her, to where it doesn't impact her emotionally. I mean, like I said, initially it hits her, but then it's like, okay, what can I do with this? Because in the past we done this, we did that didn't work. And, and she wants to get on with things too. And she realizes if she keep going his route, he's going to keep them where he's comfortable. And that's not what this is about. They are supposed to challenge each other to step outside of the box. And it's her turn. It's her turn to do that. So, and I feel like they both have taken turns doing it. It's her turn again. Like, I think maybe her first time stepping out of the box was maybe watching tarot or getting into this kind of thing. And maybe that was his too, equally so. And then they discovered love in that. And then maybe now it's other things they're being challenged to do within. And it's, again, I keep hearing it's her turn now. Like, we'll be here forever if I try to recall all the times where it was his turn and then her turn and then his turn. But I'm about to cry. But I do feel like they both have each time stepped out of the box for each other. And if you don't feel that in your heart, you're not twin. Okay? Because I definitely feel like, even to go back to the that Georgia energy, when he went to Ant's birthday party, something tells me he wasn't supposed to. Like, I know he was on the flyer and all that kind of stuff. From what I heard, I don't think he was going to go. And I think he was scared. I don't think he was really technically supposed to. In my opinion, this is just my theory. I think that rule from the 1920s with Hollywood still applies to certain celebrities. And I feel like Chris is one of them. What do I mean? What am I talking about? Back then, your actors and actresses could not live out over 200 miles outside of LA. And they preferred them to actually live in LA, which is why you will see a lot of them when they get contracts and stuff, they have to reside there. They had to. It was a part of their contract. So it just depends on the setup. But for me with him, I have my theory, because it's like throughout the years I've been doing his readings, and the fans would come and be like, oh, Joyce is going back home, and this one is going over here, and this one, and everybody will be moving around but Chris. Like, it's like Chris always has to stay in LA unless he goes somewhere. It has to be for business. That's it. I've never seen it where he just, oh yeah, I'm going to Chicago and chill. Like, he's not, I don't think he's allowed to do that. And even if it's not in his contract, maybe even just his lifestyle wouldn't allow it. But I doubt it. I think that would be a part of him embracing his freedom, to be able to like do simple stuff. Like, we think he living the life and he get to travel and all that, but most times it's for work. So that's why he cuts up when he's at work, because he has to be able to cover both at the same time. But having a healthy social life and that sort of environment with that type of work, just it's not going to happen. So he just do what he can. So with that being said, I don't even know why I brought that up. Oh yeah, because of the even that. So with that being said, I think that was a hell of a compromise there. I think he went out on a limb. I think that was that sneaking. Y'all remember I used to get that sneaking out of the window like a teenager energy around that time, and then he actually went to Aunt's birthday party. That was that. That was that. I mean, then think about it. Yeah, like y'all can say like, oh, it won't that big because it was his manager's birthday party and all of that. Y'all stop it. Chris Brown was there. That it was supposed to be big. It wasn't meant to be big. Why? Because he snuck out of the window. He snuck out of the window to get a little sneak peek or get a little experience in being in the energy with her. They both compromised. That's all I gotta say. Hierophant with the Magician card in it, in my opinion, and from what I'm picking up on, Nine of Wands. They've been doing this, y'all. They've been doing this. Knight of Cups, Nine of Wands. Whether anybody like really, y'all gonna understand one day. I promise. And also, I don't know why I feel like that's even spirit comforting me for all these years. I have been doing readings, and so many times I have sounded crazy. One of my biggest peaks in the career of doing readings for him, on him and his twin, was that Georgia energy. I caught a lot of backlash for that. Why? Because it was so detailed and specific. It was too specific. So a lot of girls couldn't fit themselves into that, to blend themselves with that. But guess what, y'all? And I done told y'all this at the school. It's only about to get that way even more now. So back then, that was just a little glimpse of what's about to start happening back to back to back. This shit about the flat line. There's going to be so many things that's going to keep happening that's not going to make sense to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or not to y'all, the ones that's like just here to, because y'all want to know his spiritual journey. Y'all want to like tap into that, and y'all just rooting for him and twin to come together. Not y'all, but the ones that's watching and you're trying to profile the situation and see, okay, that matches me. Da 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 da. Get ready. You know what I'm saying? So please, I hope a lot of you have been working on finding yourselves, tapping into your gifts, or, you know, getting yourselves prepared to do that, because it's about to get real, real heavy. I can feel it. I can feel it. And I've been telling y'all this for a few months now, that this is what this is about to evolve into. Very specific things. I used to get emails like, no, I'm not in Georgia anymore, but I was there, but I'm living over here now. So you got it right, but it's just the wrong timeline. No. My whole point was they were in the same building together, period. She was there. I feel like she was there. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. And so, and then there's no way around all of that then. But now, yeah, if I was to say, yeah, he went and maybe it feels like he missed her. No. From the energy and the girl that I miss her so much. Hey girl, if you watch it. I don't know if she want me to say her name. I almost said her name. But she would have me pull like in real time and everything. Like, she really helped me a lot to be who I am today, especially when it comes to having the stamina that I do for the school. Because what y'all getting at the school was, I used to do that anyway for like 3 years with this girl. Like, y'all just wasn't getting that type of content. Like, and it would shift things too. It would shift things around his energy, or it'll pull some shit out. Next thing you know, he's posted after do the pull and stuff. So sometimes she'll kind of be like, hey, pull, see if it shifts something. And it would. Even around like Amika, all of them. So it was a dope experience. But I say all that to say this. We were pulling around that time. And we could tell, and we was watching, and like I'll pull, then she'll go and look. She'd be like, "Oh, he posted, and it matches this, and like he was a puddle that weekend. He was a puddle, and for him to be in and out like that, he snuck over there. He was not supposed to. He was not supposed to do that. Ace of Pentacles with the Empress card. See, that's them. Oh, okay, I dig. All right, guys. Well, that has been your reading. My name is Dami. You're watching Pretty Blind Eyes, and I'll see you next time. Bye.